What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as Ridemyavatar, and today we're gonna go over some amazing trial decks we got our hands on. I want to thank Gatos Gaming or Grottos Gaming. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your channel, but he hooked me up getting it from the UK at a phenomenal deal to hopefully show off to you guys sooner than later. So guys, without further ado, let's support his channel, support mine, and let's dive right into this video, shall we? One, two, both Gallatmon and UlforceVeedramon trial decks. So structure deck 7 and 8 is in our hands today, which I'm super excited to show off to you guys. So let's dive right in. We're going to start off with Gallatmon, and then the second half of the video will be UlforceVeedramon. So we'll talk about that shortly. So what I really like about this new trial deck, it comes with a lot of new stuff in it. Comes in with the Digimon cards, of course, the Digitamas, really powerful options. It also comes with memory gauge markers that are actually foiled. It also comes in with the memory boosters, giving us an option that isn't just a booster pack. I wish they would at least send this like half a month early to sweeten up the meta a little bit. Sometimes the meta does get stale pretty quickly, and trial decks can actually change up the meta in this game, as it's been proven to do in BT-6s and BT-7s and all that fun good stuff. So let's take a quick gander. So first off, the big pack of foils, and then we got the memory gauge, which I really do like the foiling of the memory gauge. It's really nice, very simple. I wish it was the long bars. I hate short memory gauges. They just don't allow you to play with a big enough token. You have to play with a very tiny die, and that's just not fun, and it's very hard to see with a content creator's point of view. We like long bars. We just don't like these short bars at all. So the memory boosters, let's talk about that, because again, I think that's why we're all here. You get one full one-ofs of each color, which will help every deck. Sadly, this isn't legal in the US until they drop it mid-December, so we kind of got gypped a bit, but I can't complain enough. I really like the foiling. I wish our super rare foilings would match this eventually. I like the texture, the design. It's a very popping style, which really makes me happy, especially since you only need like 2 of these to actually make a difference on this. So that's not terrible. Let's open it up. So first off, we get a full playset of Digimon as your Digitama. It's not a bad one. It's actually pretty decent, because if you look at it, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for the turn, which is really nice because a lot of our effects delete something. So gaining that extra power for something you're already doing is huge, in my opinion. And again, this is what I like to see. It's just gaining some advantage that you quite need. So we got 4 Gigi. You get 4 copies of Monodramon alternate arts, which I really do like that. Instead of getting the same copy of a card, you're getting the alternate art style of the card, so that makes it really nice. Again, it's a cheap 2-cost card. It's nothing too special, so definitely think about that. Next big card, I gotta say, I'm even surprised, was this card right here. We get 4 of this Agumon. For every red deck for the foreseeable future, this card's going to be played. So when attacking, when this Digimon attacks a player, it gets plus 2000 DP. That's huge for us, because now we can swing into the security and not worry about anything really too threatening. This helps out. The reason why Agumon goes crazy with the Greymons is because this one's at least more consistent. I mean, we could definitely play the Agumon in bonds with the Greymon, as long as you Digivolve on top of a Greymon, but then you don't gain the extra power that you might need. So, you know, look at it from the double-edged sword kind of status. Then the next card we get is a super rare Gallatmon. So this card is huge in my opinion. This card is going to be meta-defining, so get enough trial decks to support your Gallatmon habit. But I love the foil on this. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the foiling, but I really do like it. So it's at 2 in the deck, which is not bad, but what's really nice about its effect, let me just go over it, is that if your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon, In play, this Digimon can digivolve into a Gallatmon from your hand for a memory cost 4, ignoring its evolution requirements. Especially with EX Booster around the corner for EX2 is going to be really good for this card because you can warp into any Gallatmon, and any Gallatmon in the future decks will always be playing this card. This card is not going anywhere, boys and girls. So make sure you get your play set and hold on to it. Next, let's talk about Beomon. So Beomon is a nice little blocker. It's nothing too crazy. It's everybody kind of gets one. So this Beomon is nothing scary. It's just a 3K cost, 4 cost blocker. I think it's a little too pricey for it to be that blocker at that low of a cost. I wish they would make it at least 4K if they're going to make these rookies, and especially being 4 just doesn't be fun. So next, let's talk about the champions. You get 2 Growlmon. Growlmon's huge for us because Growlmon says, and it's also another rare. It's a rare foiling, so if your turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain 1 memory. Since this deck focuses on deleting your opponent's Digimon very easily, we like having this. So this card is going to see play. You need to pick up 2 trial decks to get 2 of these guys. So definitely keep that in mind. Next, we have Geogramon. Geogramon's huge for us. So Geogramon is such a good card. At the end of the battle, play this without paying its memory cost. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 or less DP on play. This is huge. This is going to be played in a good chunk of security control for the near future. This is going to see a lot of play in Greymon Tribals because it's still a really good card regardless if you slam down. It blows up something almost majority of the time. Next, alternate art Dark Tyrannomon. 1 cost evolve. Really good. I love having alternate arts. Like I said, I love that they're trying to make it so that not one copy of the card is going to be overly printed. It gets a different art style every time they remaster it, which is really cool. I like that. I think that's a good way of going about it. Then you get 2 Groundramon. Groundramon's okay. It's a 2 cost evolve. It just helps the deck out. From a competitive standpoint, you want Groundramon. Groundramon's been kind of harder to find as older since it's original set printing. So as time goes on, we're going to see this card be harder to find. So good to see that they're thinking ahead and reprinting it a little bit sooner so everybody can get their second hands on it, because this could be the first time you're entering the fray. Next, we have Ryze Greymon. It's nothing too crazy. On play, delete one of your opponents. You know, nothing too crazy, like I said. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 or less DP. I don't see you ever hard casting it. It's one of those just filler cards that you see in the deck. Next, a big rare that they have in here is none other than War Growlmon. So this comes in at full playset. When attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 or less DP. We're not ever going to really use it, but it has your turn. When an opponent's Digimon is deleted, this Digimon gains security +1 for the turn. 8,000 beat stick, it's not bad. It's an 8 cost, 3 cost evolve, but that security check is huge for us, especially using this trial deck going into a tournament. Next, we have Gallatmon. So Gallatmon has security +1, and then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less. And then if you do not delete a Digimon by this effect, this Digimon gains 3,000 for the turn. So if your opponent's board isn't there and you try to use this effect, it gains the 3,000 and becomes a 14k beat stick with an extra security check. That's huge. Next, another big card. This card made Lord Nightmon cringe in fear. And the reason for that is because it had security +1 checks, but it also had Pierce. So now that you get to swing into your opponent's Lord Nightmon during this time, made it so that you cleared out their biggest threat and you still had a beat stick that was big enough to handle them. And if they tried to give you less memory, you just were always on point for it. And it just helped out because Nokia lowered its evolve cost and it just cleared board state. Next, let's talk about the options. We have Lightning Joust. So one of your Digimon gets +2,000 for the turn. Then if the number of cards in your security is less than your opponent's, one of your Digimon gains security +1. Add this card to hand. It's cool. I just wish it was better. Sadly, the extra power and probably helping out to get your guys get extra damage is awesome, but you're just going to be running dedicated plan because it doesn't shut off that. Next, another big one, Atomic Blaster. This card came in at a full playset, guys. If you buy anything out of these things just for the memory boosters, you buy it to buy Atomic Blasters and your Geogramons. This is the main reason why you buy it. Choose any number of your opponent's Digimon with a total DP less than 8,000, delete them. So if your opponent has two 4,000 DP, go bye-bye. If they have a 5 and a 3,000, bye-bye. If they have just an 8 and they have a couple, you can choose the 2 and pop the 2 if it equals up to like 7,000 DP and you don't kill the 8. But if you want to just kill the 8 for 5, go for it. This card is meta-defining and warping. Next, a full play set of Gaia Force. I remember the old trial deck gave you only 2 and you had to go get it. This is awesome to see that we have Gaia Force at a full playset, boys and girls. I love the alternate art. It's really cool. I wish it was foiled. I wish they made it foiled in here, and then I can use an excuse that I high-raried Gaia Force because I don't want to spend $80 on it. So, guys, that is this trial deck. Let's dive into the blue one. So, just finishing the red deck, we're going to talk about none other than UlforceVeedramon. So let's take a look at this amazing trial deck that came out along with the Gallatmon. So let's see. Next up, let's go. Big thing is no booster packs this time around, which kind of sad, but hey, we're going to just live in the moment. So it comes in with a memory gauge, not a long bar. I wish they would give us a long bar with these things. Long bars are just really good. I hate short bars here. I get it saves the packaging room, but you could do the split thing and just make it like have a little pin or something and just circle out. Whoop, whoop. Or give us 4 of these. Give us 4 of these. I don't mind. I'll tape them all together. Give me 4. But it's great to see they're foiled. So, not bad. Same thing with the Gallatmon. You get a one-of copy of super rares of the memory boosters, which are super clutch in this format. They help a lot of decks get consistent and get good. So, and they won't go anywhere, I don't think, and we'll probably get more as time goes on. But hey, they're very effective. So let's talk about the baby. We have Ridemyavatar. This card is really clutch, actually. In some decks, it just plays super well. When one of your level 8 or more, when you have 8 or more cards in your hand, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP for your turn. That's awesome. It's a really good Digitama, and it could see future play going into a lot of more meta-defining decks. But right now, it's nothing too crazy. You also get those small rulebook pamphlet thing that if you had a Microsoft, you can read it. But you really don't need it. Next, let's talk about Gallatmon. We get an alternate art to drop Gallatmon. I'm really excited for it, just having the trial deck option. Especially if I play blue, I can just slap it in right now because it is legal if you have it, because the card is actually BT1. Alternate arts do not change the fact of the matter. Next, a big card we need to talk about, this Gallatmon. This Gallatmon helps out bonds really well because your turn, while you have 8 or more cards in your hand, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP. All turns, by the way. So this makes it so that your threats stay on board a little bit longer, and that could help out win endgames. Next, 4 copies of Geogramon. Geogramon's like huge here. This card sees massive play in the major deck I'm going to call Commandramon, because of the fact of the matter is it hits every Drawmon. It can't grab itself, but it can grab any Commandramon in existence. So this card is played in there because on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Drawmon, and then in its name, add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. The reason why you play it in this deck, in this trial deck, is because they use Geogramon, the drawer, so you can grab him and search him out, or the Veedramons or anything like that, because it's a Drawmon. Next, Veemon. I love the super art, the super rare art. Guys, it's textured, it's foiled, it's everything I wish and hope for. But really nice about it is your turn. If your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon in play, this Digimon can Digivolve into UlforceVeedramon in your hand for a memory cost 4, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. And then if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, trigger draw 1 when attacking. So this helps you fuel the deck to be able to draw advantage and get out the turbo pieces that you need, because it's really important to have them. Next, we have Veedramon. So Veedramon is a 4-cost, 5-cost, 5,000 DP, 2-cost evolve, really nice. But when attacking, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hand. Trash all Digi-evolutions of that card. I wish it popped 4s, but we'll have to live with rookies. So bringing a rookie back to hand sometimes helps out, because now they have to reset a board. Next, Geogramon. This card is huge. It's going to see play for future, because any blue deck wants draw advantage. This card pops off in security. So at the end of battle, play this without paying its memory costs. Play, trigger, draw 2. So 2 of situations can happen here. Either you're going to hard cast this down for if you're at 3 because of your tamers, and then you give them 3 because they have a tamer. You draw 2 out of this, or you're going to Digivolve in the raising area to try to choke them out going second. So it'll get you a +1 and it still does its job. So even though you're not gaining 2 cards out of this, it's there for 2 clutch purposes. So next, we have Gallatmon in here. Gallamon's okay. I like the art. It's cute. I love the Biomon trying to attack it. It's just blowing them to bits. Let's go. But outside of that, it's nothing too scary. Next, we're into the ultimate package. Mumsymon is shown off. I love the disco dance in Mumsymon. It's a kind of cool art, especially you can play it. Next, Wingdramon is the blocker of this one, and it's kind of beefy. It just won't be seen play, to be honest with you. It's a blocker, Wingdramon. 7K, you would replace this for something better at the end of the day. Next, another big rare is Veedramon. Veedramon has jamming, naturally, so this is huge. And then your turn, when this Digimon has 8 or more cards in your hand, while you have 8 or more cards in your hand, this Digimon gets security +1. Boom, baby. That's huge. That means it's clearing security. It's better than our other cards that we've seen in the format. So then we have Slayerdramon at a full playset. That's our backup level 6. When Digivolving, this Digimon gains security for the turn, and then it's unblockable. It can get in some lethal pokes, but Slayerdramon's just not there yet. Next, we have UlforceVeedramon. So when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to its owner's hand. Trash all Digi-evolution cards from that Digimon. And then when attacking, once per turn, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. It gets at least 2 attacks off. And if you can get the Veedramon underneath it while you have the 8 requirement, it restands 2 security checks. Boom, baby. You're just cleaning it. Next, they give you 2 Hammer Sparks as the reference to the joke of 4 Hammer Sparks for blue trial decks last time. We get 2. So we get the Gaia Force treatment with the Hammer Sparks this time around. It should just stay at 2. Next, Victory Sword's really cool, I gotta say. For 3 costs, unsuspend one of your blue Digimon. That's gonna be huge. This card probably could see play in later formats with the multicolor class, especially with bigger Digimon. You might want to restand and swing in a couple times. So think about that when you're thinking about picking up trial decks. And then we got Wingblade. So return one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon to its owner's hand. Trash all Digi-evolution cards of that Digimon. So this card is like another version of the Atomic Blaster, but Wing Blast at least pops a level 6 to hand, and that could be an upsetting balance that you might need to do in a tournament setting. So guys, I think this deck is pretty cool. I think the red one's just slightly better in competitive biasness, but what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments what you think is the better trial deck. So let me know what you think is the better trial deck, guys. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. It means a lot. And please go check out Gardo's Gaming. He's a really good friend of mine. He's done really well by me. He plays in the UK. and hopefully we can start having a little more tournaments with real life cards. So guys, remember, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!